This is me in the middle of the street showing off this futuristic computer desk I just finished. It's built from a single sheet of plywood, and I used a mix of ink, PVA glue and sandblasting grit to give the legs a rendered look. To get started, I just need to grab a sheet of plywood from my perfectly organized wood storage. Now it's time to get out the old circular saw, I mean CNC router. But this means I need to draw the design in CAD. I'm using Fusion 360 here, then I send it over to my CAM software to prep the file for machining. This machine is at Sane Makerspace. It's a makerspace that I actually run myself in South Australia. It's open to anyone looking to use large equipment to make anything they like. I went to run the job, but I made a mistake. On the computer I set Z0 at the surface of the work, but on the machine I zeroed it at the bed. Luckily, I spotted it before any damage was done, otherwise this would have driven straight into the machine bed. While that was running, I was testing out what finish I was going to use for the legs. I wanted to see what shoshugi barn would look like with the plywood, basically just burning the top layer of the timber, but the results were not great. Now the machine's done. It cuts a lot better and faster than I could any day, and now just neatly put away the offcut. Here you can start to see the form of the legs. There's 3 layers of plywood each leg, and they'll be connected 90 degrees to each other. I need to route the edges of all the leg pieces. I'm just giving them a nice round over. Now it's time for the glue up. I'm just using a piece of offcut the same thickness as the legs to make sure that they fit perfectly 90 degrees to each other. Then I'm just shooting some nails in to hold it while the PVA dries. This was the second test to see what finish I was going to use for the legs. This is just PVA mixed with some black ink. I was hoping the PVA would act like a sealer and the ink would darken up the timber but still show some wood grain. At least with the timber I used, you couldn't really see any grain after it dried, so it wasn't really worth the effort. So this time I wanted to try something completely different. I wanted to give the legs a bit of a texture, a bit of a futuristic feel. So I got some sandblasting grit. This is the powder that goes through sandblasters to remove rust or paint from metal parts. I just mixed it again with the PVA glue and the ink, and then started to brush it on and wipe it on. It was actually a really messy job, but once I got the hang of it, it turned out really well. Now just to prep the top panel, I just gave it a quick sand and a round over with a router. And this is the final desk. It did take a long time for the PVA mix to completely dry, but I'm actually really happy with the end result. The whole desk was cut from a single sheet of plywood and took about 2 days to complete.